Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are mapping out a truly massive transformation. Look, if you've been casually using AI, maybe asking a chatbot a few random questions, generating a quick script, or just summarizing a long article, you are honestly just scratching the absolute surface. In this explainer, we're going to completely shift your mental model. We're taking you from being a casual AI user and transforming you into a full-scale systems architect, someone who actually builds and commands entire autonomous digital infrastructures. Okay, let's dive into this. Because look at these two recent moves. Right after a major market shift, we literally saw OpenAI offer 30 days of free Codex access to any companies wanting to switch over to them. And then, no joke, exactly 45 minutes later, Anthropic fired back by increasing Claude Code weekly limits by 50% for 2 solid months. This isn't just some friendly rivalry. It is a full-blown AI price war to capture the developers and the builders of tomorrow.
So here's our roadmap for getting you there today. First, the market shift. Second, the 5 levels of mastery. Third, why CLIs beat APIs. Fourth, managing parallel AI agents. And finally, deploying the always-on agent.
All right, jumping into Section 1, the market shift.
The urgency to actually master these workflows, it has never been higher, and it's all because of this massive macro shift. In April 2026, Anthropic officially passed OpenAI in overall business adoption. That is a monumental moment in the AI landscape. It represents a total pivot where businesses aren't just kind of experimenting anymore, they're actively adopting the platforms that let them build real, scalable, agentic workflows. Basically, the companies winning right now are the ones moving way past basic chatting and into building actual autonomous systems.
Which brings us to Section 2, the 5 levels of mastery.
So here is the evolutionary arc of the AI user. You've got step 1, starting out as an enthusiast doing simple one-off tasks. Then you naturally progress to beginner, intermediate, advanced, and finally, step 5, the architect. Knowing exactly what milestones you need to hit here is absolutely crucial. It's really the only way to upgrade your skills without getting totally overwhelmed by the tech.
Those early levels are really all about breaking through the bottleneck of token bloat and memory loss. Think about it. Level 1 is totally stateless. Every single chat basically starts from 0. But by level 2, you introduce project continuity, meaning the AI actually remembers your past chats and your preferences. Level 3 takes it further by giving the AI read and write access right into your local file system, turning it into a real coworker. And by level 4, you're spinning up advanced parallel workspaces, literally deploying multiple AI sub-agents to tackle completely different parts of a project at the exact same time.
Let's look closer at how they do that in Section 3, Why CLIs Beat APIs. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is a tool called Printing Press. It's essentially a CLI factory and library stacked with over 50 pre-built interfaces for platforms like ESPN, Hacker News, or Craigslist. But here's the real game changer. It allows your AI agents to completely bypass clunky web connections or those massive API payloads. Even if a platform literally doesn't have a public API, Printing Press lets you just build your own command line interface for it in minutes. Let's neutrally break down the options your agents have to interact with the web here. APIs were built for traditional code, so they return these massive JSON bodies that just eat up your token limits. Then you have MCPs, Model Context Protocols. Now, they were built specifically for tools, and they totally broke the internet by making discovery super easy, but they cause huge context bloat. We're talking 35 times more tokens with only a 72% success rate on the harder tasks. CLIs, on the other hand, are fundamentally native to how token-paying AI agents actually think and operate. You get 200 tokens of clean text, highly efficient costs, and a 100% success rate without all those messy round trips.
Moving right along to Section 4, managing parallel AI agents.
So how do you handle all of that command line efficiency at once? The solution is Claude Code's new Agent View dashboard. Instead of you, the human, becoming the bottleneck by painfully clicking through a dozen messy terminal tabs, you get this single, clean dashboard. You can effortlessly manage up to 5 concurrent sessions, you can launch background tasks, set long-running goal directives, and just let them operate in totally isolated Git work trees so their files never accidentally overwrite each other. And honestly, the best part? You navigate through all of this parallel work with just simple arrow keys.
And this brilliantly illustrates where the true power of Level 4 unlocks. By firing off parallel specialized sub-agents, say one writing your tests, one reviewing your security, and another building out a whole new feature, you are no longer just a solo developer. You are effectively building and commanding a small engineering team. They're all working simultaneously in their own context windows, which lets a single user command the output of an entire development roster.
But here is the critical question. Everything we have talked about so far requires your machine to actually be awake and your terminal to be open. So what happens when your power goes out? What happens when you go to the gym? Seriously, what happens when your laptop is closed?
That brings us to our final stop, Section 5, the always-on agent. See, a Level 5 architect leverages pure infrastructure to ensure the work continues even while they're fast asleep. We're talking about cloud routines that run on a set schedule, GitHub webhooks that instantly trigger PR reviews the absolute second code is pushed, and headless agent modes that require literally zero human interaction. They even use remote control to just text their coding agent straight from their mobile phone while they're out on a walk. The system just never stops.
And the ultimate real-world application of this always-on infrastructure is the Hermes agent. This is a rapidly growing open-source AI assistant developed by Noose Research. Unlike the local tools we mentioned earlier, Hermes runs entirely on your own private infrastructure, like a virtual private server or a Docker container. And because it's fully hosted in the cloud, you can control the whole shebang from anywhere in the world just by sending a quick message through Telegram.
Hermes is built on 5 core pillars. First up is memory, which stores your preferences in simple markdown files. Second is skills, where it uses reusable YAML playbooks to execute tasks consistently. Third is its soul, which shapes a distinct personality for the agent. Fourth, and arguably the most powerful, are crons. These scheduled jobs completely shift your AI from being just a reactive chatbot into a proactive teammate that acts on its own at specific times. And finally, the self-improving loop ensures that as it works, it's actually writing new skills and updating its own memory over time.
So, as we wrap up this explainer, you really have to look at your own workflow and honestly answer this. Are you just an enthusiast typing into a stateless chat window? Or are you ready to become an architect? Because the tools to build your own 24/7, completely autonomous specialized engineering team, they are entirely in your hands right now. It's time to optimize your digital infrastructure. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I will catch you next time.